All right, everybody. Thanks everybody for joining SmartTake. This is the #1 monthly series for learning the most essential HubSpot product updates. I'm Paul Schmidt, marketing lead here at SmartBug. And if you only have 30 minutes a month to stay on top of HubSpot updates, this is the spot. This is the right place. Before we get into some of the updates, we're in the final stretch before Inbound 2025 this year in San Francisco. If any of you are going to Inbound this year, why don't you drop it in the chat, share in the chat if you're going to be there, what you're most excited about. We'll be there this year. We have a booth. We'll have a good sizable team there this year. So please do stop by, say hi. We're going to be doing HubSpot portal optimization checks for folks. So, if you have any kind of burning questions or things you're kind of stuck on, we'd love for you to stop by, say hi, and we can give you as much help as we can. So that's Inbound this year. We hope to see you there. If you're not going to be there, they always do a lot of live streaming and recordings of the session. So we're really excited to see some of the new products get released to the market, see what you think about all that stuff. For today, our goal here with SmartTake is to distill down the 5 most impactful updates each month, so that way you can go tell your boss, hey, HubSpot released 100 new features this last month, but here are the most essential ones that we're going to be implementing to help drive revenue and help advance your organization, create more clarity within your CRM on HubSpot. So we're going to walk through all of that and take you through some of the, what we think are the most impactful changes, the most consequential changes. So, additionally, you'll see on the chat, Nikki Kamau, SmartBug's Director of Marketing, who's going to be answering questions and maybe jumping in as well. Today, it's just me on the chat. Brian is out this week, but that's okay. We'll take you through some of the exciting updates. And without further ado, let's jump in here. All right, so update #1, guided report creation flow. It doesn't sound super exciting, but I think it is. So in terms of creating reports inside of HubSpot, one of the challenges that a lot of folks have especially when they're new, is just like, how do you go about creating different types of reports inside of HubSpot? And I think a challenge is that like there are many different kinds of reports that you can create, but I think what this new flow does essentially allows you to create custom reports much more easily. So I'm just going to do a quick screen share on this right here. Let me jump over screens, share that. And so what happens in the new guided report creation flow? You go in here, custom report, and you click on, click on custom report. And then from here, the whole flow is a little more simplified. So right here, you can then say, hey, what kind of data am I trying to report on? Is it just a simple like contacts report, or is this a custom report that requires a bunch of different kinds of data sources? So for this one, let's say we're doing a custom report with both contacts and companies. Let's say we're going to add a little bit more data sources on that. And then we click next, and then it takes you right into that report builder. So you can see with this whole guided report builder, it makes things a little bit easier, because instead of you having to pick what are the 7 different kinds of reports I want to create, it kind of guides you into that. So if you're creating a single object report, it's pretty simple, versus something more custom, or if you want to create something that maybe is more of the customer journey analytics, it can kind of guide you down that way as well. So this is update #1. It's just like an update to the reporting flow. If you're new to reporting, I hope this makes your life a lot easier. Let's jump into #2. So Service Hub updates. A couple of these are just usability updates. First one, editing email conversation history and help desk and inbox. This is pretty useful if you're using help desk and inbox, and that you can go in and you can remove information from the threads or clean up some of the threads as you're going through a ticket or conversation with a prospect or a customer. This is pretty useful because sometimes within conversations, when you're going through a ticket, there's information maybe you don't want to just continue to be within that thread, or maybe you just want to clean up the thread a bit more. So now this is just a usability update, makes data inside of those conversations a little cleaner. Next one, never logging now overrides existing contacts for inbox. This is useful in that you can put team email addresses into your never log list. I find this to be so helpful because, why do you, for most companies, they don't want group distribution emails to be added as a contact inside of their CRM. So, this is just a nice usability update, and that it's gonna keep things clean. It's not gonna start creating contacts for these types of email addresses if you don't want those inside there. And then last one, nice usability update, SLA pausing in Service Hub. This has been a request that we've seen over and over from customers that are using Service Hub. And what this does essentially is that the new SLA pausing, it respects those pauses inside when a ticket goes from your agent to the customer and back and forth. And why this matters is that organizations they have specific types of SLA tracking and reporting, and some of that you may have SLA specific measures that are specifically within your contracts with your customers that you have to respond in a certain amount of time or anything like that. And this is really important, so it allows you to essentially to just have more accuracy within your SLA tracking. So they're very important if you're using Service Hub and Help Desk. Awesome. All right, let's see if there's any questions coming in. No, not any yet. All right, so next we go into Sales and Service Hub. For those of you using the mobile app, this app just keeps getting better and better. So you can now use inbound calling within this. You can take calls right inside the HubSpot app, take that right inside the mobile app, and then it's not just within your desktop experience any longer. It really allows you to take it on the go. So the app is just getting a lot better. We talked about some updates last month on custom objects and associations within the mobile app, and we can see this just getting better and better. Next update is help desk spaces. So this is really a cool update in that as companies scale, their services function diversifies, it gets more complex, in that you may be using a help desk for ticketing, you may be using it for customer success, you may be using it for technical support, you may be using it for internal support. There's lots of different use cases for this. So what Spaces does is allows you as an organization to break up your help desk into different parts that mirrors kind of how your organization is structured. So maybe you have a space for your technical support team that has specific fields on there that's just related to ticketing and the information that's from those tickets. Whereas if you have, maybe you want a separate space for your customer success team, which has more maybe scoring type of data or next steps data or any data that is helping you drive upsell, cross-sell, or churn reduction or anything like that. So a nice addition to Service Hub this last month, and this is now in private beta. Curious to see how you will be leveraging this for your own services function. All right, we're moving forward today. We're moving quick. So Commerce Hub, I had to call this one out. HubSpot Payments, now available in Canada. If you didn't know already, we have a good sizable team in Canada, and so we have a lot of customers that are up there, and so we want to make sure we have a good call out to those that are starting to use HubSpot Payments. Previously, it was only available in the US, I think in some countries in the EU, and now it's available in Canada. So excited to see how you will be leveraging that as well. All right, last few updates for this month. Creating multi-select user properties. This is really useful historically when you think about owner properties. So owner properties historically have been drop-down properties. You essentially can select whatever the deal owner, contact, company owner is, and it would just be a single owner. But now you have the ability to create multi-select user properties. So why would we want multi-select user properties? So these are useful if you think about deal splits, or you could also think about ticket splits or multiple owners on a single ticket. If you think about it, sometimes tickets come in or customer service requests come in, and maybe there needs to be an engineer on it, and there needs to be an account manager on it, and things like that. And previously, you'd have to create maybe two different properties or kind of band-aid some solution together. Now you can create all of this within a single property. So nice usability update on having multiple users in the same thing. Yeah, Dana says we use multi-select on our RFPs as well. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's very useful for those types of things where you have multiple, maybe a committee even that for those types of use cases. All right, next one, new standard sandbox with improved production metadata and deploy to production supported assets. This is really useful. So, for one of the long time sort of gripes within side of HubSpot is that you weren't able to use your sandbox to the fullest ability to be able to simulate changes, build those types of changes in the background, not in your production environment before pushing them into production environment. So we know as mid-market and larger organizations are using HubSpot, it's quite dangerous to just go and make a change in the live production environment without doing any sort of testing on data. And so this new update really going to be more useful for technical and RevOps teams to be able to just give them the confidence to innovate, make changes safely, knowing that they can validate all of those changes before they bring those to production environments. So I think this is really useful for, especially if you've got complex automation in the background and you just want to make sure that things are 100% accurate before you take these things live. So very helpful new updates within the sandbox environment with the inside of HubSpot. All right, last couple updates. We're nearing the end. We're going quick today. I feel things slow down a little bit when it's Brian and I kind of talking through some of these, but we'll go into our second to last update for this month. This month, we're looking at the CRM connector for Anthropic's Cloud. So HubSpot just launched the first ever CRM connector for Claude, for Anthropic's Claude, this LLM. I'd be curious if those of you on the webinar today, how many are using this? How many are using Claude, the paid version of this? So what this connector does is it enables users to send HubSpot data to Claude to generate AI-powered answers and summaries and insights, and then take all of that and then be able to essentially to use an LLM to analyze or be able to do all kinds of stuff with that data. And this is available to all HubSpot customers who also have a paid cloud subscription. So if you are, and if, for those of you, like HubSpot already launched a deep research connector, which is more on the ChatGPT side of things, but this is for Claude. So definitely check this out if you're a Claude user. A lot of great use cases for this. I used Claude, this connector about a week ago to run a closed loss deal analysis. It was so easy to connecting Claude and HubSpot. And essentially what it does is it was able to pull in all my closed loss deals into Claude, run an analysis, tell me, kind of put a list together of which of the salespeople on my team are losing the most deals or having the most challenges in terms of a closed loss deal ratio. And it also gives you suggestions for the future. So, this is so impactful in that, like, HubSpot isn't forcing you to live inside of HubSpot to be able to do this type of analysis. HubSpot is giving connections with MCP servers to different LLMs to be able to do analysis in other places. And I think this is a great thing because I think some people, they have their favorite AI tools that they're using and they want to be able to take that data and put it in other places. So, Ben, like you said, ChatGPT, that connector is great. And, you can, Claude's another one that definitely check out. And that I just love this use case of closed loss deal analysis. But I'd be curious for those of you that have connected HubSpot to other LLMs, what types of queries you've run, what types of reports you've built. This is something that I think we're going to be seeing more and more of, and improvements from that. Okay. This is our last one for the day. This is a big one, actually. So, conditional display logic on all CRM cards, locations, and tabs. So we're going to do a quick demo on this one. I find this update to be very useful for the cleanliness of your own CRM. So, one of the challenges that we see with many clients is that as you're using HubSpot for more and more years, you're adding in new plugins and you're adding in new functionality inside of it. But things can start to get a little messy when you think about all the different data you can flow into HubSpot. And so essentially what this conditional display logic does is that you can go in and you can adjust the sidebar and decide what if you would like a certain card to show up based on the information you have in there. So let me show you how this works. If we go into any type of record, whether it's a contact company deal ticket record, you click on customize. Just go into our default view. And what you can see on the right side here, these like three little dots, and this is kind of where you can go in and decide how you want the conditional display logic to show that card or not. So for example, let's say on this specific marketing events object, you can set the conditional logic so that if a certain property has a known value or a specific kind of value, then you can either hide the card or show the card. So this is so useful because oftentimes if you look in company contact deal ticket or ticket records, is that a lot of these fields are just blank. So like there's just so much stuff that you have to sort of like continue to kind of skim through, and your salespeople are getting frustrated because there's 50 different cards on the right sidebar. And so essentially what you can do is put in an if-then logic right here. And, this is all just based on sort of that list creation type of criteria. And so let's say, if a certain value is greater or known or whatever, then you can hide, show, things like that. So yeah, definitely helps cut down that noise, Dana, like you're saying. So, that's what I would recommend, going in here, cleaning this up, creating different views for your team. Your sales team doesn't need to see the same information as your marketing team, as your CS team, as your finance team that's using HubSpot. And so, yeah, that conditional display logic, so useful. Go create different views, use that display logic, so that way it kind of limits the amount of noise that's inside there. It'll make everybody's life a lot easier as they're kind of going through that in the day-to-day. Well, that is it. Those are the updates for this month. So if you enjoyed this today, we've got a few different add-ons, a couple things that we'll send your way as well. For any of you that are current HubSpot users, we're doing complimentary HubSpot audits. So if you'd love to just get a second set of eyes on your HubSpot, and you're maybe have certain challenges in there and you'd like that audit, definitely click that sign up for the audit. We'd love for you to connect you with our team and give you some pointers on how you can make things better for your sales, marketing, and service teams. Catch our video. We just launched a new fast forward video on HubSpot's content remix tool. HubSpot's content remix tool, we demoed this a few months back, essentially allows you to take one asset and spin it up and repurpose it into multiple different assets. So if you do webinars, let's say on a monthly basis, and you want to be able to take that webinar and spin it into a blog post and spin it into social posts, and then take that and turn that webinar into a podcast, content remix tool inside of Content Hub allows you to do that. So we'll put the Nick, thank you for sharing the link to that, and we'll email you this as well. But in this video, I show you how you can take one webinar asset, spin it up into 20 different assets. So if you think about that on a monthly basis, this is going to save your team a lot of time. We're already using it at SmartBug, it's saving us a lot of time. We're able to get more defined, more custom assets for different types of channels into different audiences. It's making the repurposing exercise a lot less painful. So check that out. Lastly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're publishing probably 2-3 videos a week on different HubSpot how-tos and different webinars, both strategic and tactical. So hope you join us and subscribe to that. And with that, we've hit the end. Thanks for joining today for SmartTake. We hope to see you next month after Inbound. We're going to be talking about some of the Inbound updates. Then, I think it's going to be tough to fit just 5 of them because there's so many cool things coming out. But we hope to see you at Inbound, either in person or virtual this next month. And thanks again for joining. If you can give us a little bit of feedback, we would love to just hear how we can make this thing better. And we will go ahead and send a follow-up email so you can share this with your friends. Thanks everybody for joining today, and we will see you next month.
Thank you for watching.